turns out, is no more powerful than most cell phones you hold right up to your ear.
Teen empowerment at Rochester City Council Chambers. Young people are talking tonight, adults listening as a way to address our city's violence problem. We go back to City Council Chambers now, where we join Youth Speak Out in Progress.
Must be challenging, meaningful, and geared toward the betterment of our community, or directed toward legitimate career paths. So we need more jobs like teen empowerment that reaches out to the community and impact the youth and get them on the right path. Number 4, job opportunities as paid interns and programs that teach real skills are important. Last summer, I was able to work as a paid intern here at City Hall as an administrative assistant. I learned a lot and I made a lot of great connections. I know a lot of youth that this would benefit. We need more opportunities like these to reach out to the youth in Rochester. These solutions will change cycles of poverty that are tearing apart our community. These opportunities will also teach work ethics, responsibilities, and commitment. Much of the city's gang and turf-related problems are linked to the lack of opportunity for youth to make money through legitimate means, which leads some young people to turn into legal activities such as drug dealing. Thank you for your time. I'm gonna turn it over to Eric Glenn.
How everybody doing today? I know everybody asked you all that, but I want to know too. All right, my name Eric, and I'm a youth organizer at Teen Empowerment. And I'm gonna present to y'all the third step on our youth agenda for change. And it deals with youth and police relations. First thing we came up with was youth and police need structured opportunities to discuss the issues that divide us and begin to build on trust and understanding between us. Just last year, Teen Empowerment hosted a series of youth dialogue sessions with the police, and we talked about issues of feeling dehumanized, stereotype, race, fear, and barriers that lie in the department. And some of these meetings, change perceptions of change some views of the youth and the police officers. For me, an example. Before we started this process, I ain't really like the police like that, you know what I'm saying? And all my friends felt the same way. But as we continued on through this process, I started to gain a understanding, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say I'm cured, but it's a start though. and views of the police officers was changed too, because one officer stated that because the meeting had impacted him so much, he was going to change the way he policed and the way he approached youth. And many officers said that their perceptions and views on teens changed. The second step, youth and police must have a chance to work together, organizing community building events. This summer, Teen Empowerment participated in an event sponsored by Need. It was called National Night Out. It brought together youth and police in a positive way. There was games going on, music, food, a DJ, and everybody was just having fun. Youth ran activities for youth and the police, you know what I'm saying? It was an opportunity for me to see youth and police interact in a positive way. Now that's something I've never seen before. And I'm quite sure a lot of people that was there haven't seen it also. Next, youth can have leadership roles training the police officers how to better communicate and relate to youth in the community. And officers can have and officers can also have roles training youth on how to interact with police when it's approached. This should be a requirement, because if you look in the department, many officers that are in the city are not from the city. They don't know us, you know what I'm saying? Who they do know is the ones that pop up on the 6 o'clock news every day, the ones that they have negative run-ins with, and they don't even know them. And we also don't know the police officers neither. All we know is that they took my brother to jail. They chased us up off the corner, and they shot so-and-so. We need more opportunities so that these stereotypes can get past us. This year, we will have a chance to train police officers, to better interact with youth in the community. More of this stuff need to go on. Fourth, young people must be more involved in learning how the police department works so that it can become a place that's more accessible. The police department right now is just a place where they lock people up, you know what I'm saying? Or we go visit somebody locked up. There's many more opportunities that we can get out of the police department if it's opened up. For instance, job opportunities. And officers must be more involved in community events so that they can be a greater resource. It shouldn't be that police officers only come out to events to make sure everything's all right and make sure nothing happens. They should be involved with the events. They should come out to the step off and the other 100 events that the community holds. And it'll give them a chance to get to know their community better. Because just riding around in the car, that ain't gonna help it. Fifth, more activities involving youth and police together should take place, such as sports, arts, and camps. Just to get to build relationships, and they can also get to know the people that's in their community. Because playing basketball on the court, police come up, I'm running. It shouldn't be like that, you know what I'm saying? It should be like, man, check it up, let's get this game going, man. Last but not least, police recruitment programs in school. If you look at the statistics in the Rochester City Police Department, 73% of the police officers are white. 13% of the police officers are black. 12% are Hispanic. And that does not reflect our community at all. To get people from our neighborhood to work into our community, they're gonna have to reach out to us. Thank you. Next, I'm gonna turn it over to Sierra and Jordan.
Hi everybody, like Eric said, my name is Jordan.
And again, my name is Sierra.
Okay. The next point that we're here to present to you on the Youth Agenda for Change is we at Teen Empowerment feel that more young people should have more legitimate opportunities to have input in public policy decisions. Thank you. We need legitimate advisory positions. That means young people need to be at the table when decisions about young people are being made. Yeah. It undermines the entire purpose of trying to help a group of people if that group of people doesn't have their views and perspective at the table, so you can know exactly how to implement your changes, exactly what needs to be done so that can be effective. And that's what we're trying to work towards. We go to a school called School Without Walls. At our school, young people, students, and teachers have the opportunity to be at the table to make decisions with a democratic process. Because of that, everyone feels involved, everyone feels important, everyone feels invested. Why can't the same things happen in other schools? Why can't the same things happen in our community? They complain that we're not involved in everything that's going on. But the truth is, we need to have our voices heard. And when that happens, we will be involved because we feel like we're an important part of the process. We don't want to be just figures, we want to be active. We want to know that our feelings are valid, that our point of views are valid, so that when we come to the table, we know that what we say has weight. What we say will make changes and will be important and will be considered, not just heard, dismissed, and a new agenda come about, so that we actually have a big stake in what's going on.
And to just piggyback on what Jordan said, again, I have some more plans and ideas that Teen Empowerment has for the agenda of change for the teens in Rochester. We also feel that the youth in these advisory positions must have access to youth forums so that their input reflects the community of youth and not just one's personal opinion. And basically what we're trying to say is that the youth that hold these positions should be more involved with the youth that actually has a voice and which should be heard. We feel like in order for the change to be a success, it is very, very important for the youth to be motivated. Bring your ideas, your creativity, your thoughts, and your minds to the table so that the community as a whole can receive your input for like a group of teens instead of just one's personal opinion speaking for all. We feel as, well, myself, as youth organizer working for teen empowerment for the last couple of years, I have had the opportunity to actually sit down with hundreds of youth and listen to them on what they have to say about the aspect of their own community. I'm only a youth. It's adults out there that can actually sit down and listen to the youth on what they got to say of what type of changes they would like to see and also how they can be a positive outlook on the community. Am I right, youth? Am I right? Don't y'all want to do that? Y'all want to do that? We have held meetings on the east side as well as the west side, working with the youth, looking at their viewpoints, listening to their aspects, listening to their ideas, and that's how Teen Empowerment has gained their youth forums and worked with the youth. And we feel that the community can also do it as well.
The problem is when young people aren't heard, we feel powerless, we feel invisible, and we feel detached from the entire situation. That's why it's not personal to us.
And most of the time when teens feel this way, they actually act out in destructive or self-destructive ways. As many of you already know, we lost a group of youth over senseless violence that could have been prevented. In order for the adults or in order for this community to let the youth grow up as productive citizens, we need to be involved in our schools, in our communities, in our neighborhoods, in our society, if y'all want us to work together to make a better community. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. I know you could probably not see me, but I came here to be heard, not seen. I'm going to be presenting to you inequalities in education in the youth agenda. Point number 1. City schools must offer smaller class sizes to provide the proper attention and adequately address the various needs of students. For the honor and glory of God, then my parents, and then the hard work of myself, I was on honor roll since my late elementary, throughout all my middle school, and last year. Unfortunately, I had to say last year because I had got a C+ in my geometry class. C+ is not acceptable in my family or to myself.
All right.
But because I had a geometry class with 40 kids, it was very overwhelming for my teacher to address the needs I needed. Students need class sizes in which the teacher can properly give them the attention and the need that they need to satisfy. Students need to be able to have one-on-one time with the teacher. But with a class of 40, she barely has time to address the students one-on-one because of the fact that there's 40 students. Now, 40 students in one classroom. 40 students. That class is packed. Every seat is taken. A teacher, one teacher with no assistants, would have to go through the lesson, teach it. If the student doesn't understand, they barely have time to raise their hand and ask the question. Now, there's the opportunity to stay after school, but not everybody can. There's the opportunity to look in a textbook, but there's barely any. So, I think the smaller class sizes need to be changed. Point number 2. City schools must increase the opportunities for engagement in a large variety of extracurricular activities to equal opportunities offered to suburban students. Suburban students have tons and tons and tons of extracurricular activities. But city schools, they have them numbered. City school students have to run for the opportunity to be able to be in those. But the suburban students, they have them in abundance. We should be, the city school students should have it in abundance. We're the ones who face poverty. We need those scholarships that those extracurricular activities offer. Otherwise, how are we going to get a better future? Point number 3. Standardized tests should not be the sole determinant for judging what a student has learned or what diploma they receive. A student can ace an entire course and have materials to prove that they understand the information, but if they don't pass a test of black and white, they cannot gain that credit. That is not acceptable. I believe that if you can prove to somebody that you know what you're talking about, that you know the material that is needed to pass that course, you should be able to pass that course. Point number 4. City schools must provide the books, supplies, and technology necessary for today's learning. Last year, I had absolutely no textbooks. My textbooks were in the classroom. They were damaged. Unfortunately, I could not study at home. I would have to study off of my tests and my notes. But there's something deeper. This year, city schools receive new Spanish books after 15 years. Now let me see. A teacher teaches about maybe, let's say at the least, 3 classes a day. 3 students use it in 1 year. Over 15 years, that's 45 students. Imagine the condition of those books after 15 years. A whole decade has passed since that information was planted into that book. Didn't you think those things had to be renewed? Things changed. Those had to be updated. City schools need new resources, up-to-date resources. In the suburbs, the students received laptops in some schools the first day. They received instruments. Every student in a school was received an instrument. In our schools, barely any of the students received instruments. In conclusion, I just want to say, our parents, our society, they want us to have a better future. For us to be doctors, surgeons, to be leaders in the community, to be something. I don't know why our city school district doesn't have the money or doesn't have what it needs to supply our needs, but we need them to be supplied. Because without those resources, we can't meet their expectations. I want to be some type of doctor. I'm not sure. I like pediatrics. If I don't get the resources I need, the scholarships I need, everything that it takes for me to succeed in life, I'm not going to be that doctor. And I don't want nobody to stop me. So I want somebody to find out what we need to be able to get those resources I need to have my better future. Thank you.
Because I could have sworn I said that I could write poetry, right? Yeah, right? Robert, I said it.
I heard you say, but maybe you need to show them.
Alright, check this out. Alright, this is called, no, here it is. I got blood, and the town knows blood. When the sun comes out, and the town dried up, all is red like the flags in the book. realizing what's going on. Let us breathe our breath. Let us breathe our breath. Let us breathe our breath. Instead of one pump and two breaths of somebody else's lips. Murdered all corners. With eyes, with love, with child. With a beautiful mind. Dark without no light, low without no height. Our streets are all full of fright. Let's be okay. Deny, deny, deny. That's how we all sleep at night.
Wow. I love spoken word. You know, I love spoken word. I love the kids, y'all. But anyway, I'd like to just acknowledge Mr. Moses over here, Officer Moses from East High. Yeah. Talking about one of the best that ever did it. Yeah. I just want to say that when I look at some of these youth, I see me, you know, especially the troubled ones. Pardon me? Because that's me, you know. A lot of y'all in here think y'all know me, but y'all really, really don't know me. You know, you don't know where I come from. You don't know the life that I live. You know, all y'all know is that I get with y'all kids and I do some things and they come out better people. But I went through a whole lot. You know, I went through a whole lot. And I stand here before you only through the grace of God, a praying mother, and three real strong, prominent black men that said, I'm here, and I love you, and I'm gonna be here for you no matter what. So when I strayed off and I came back, I had something to refer to. I wanted to be just like them, and I am. They're real proud of me today. In closing, I just want to say personally, before I turn it back over to my colleague Doug, I just want to say that I don't know. You know, I don't know what it's going to take. You know, I don't know what we got to do. But what I do know is that we got to do it. I want to say this, that we interviewed approximately 300 kids today. And I'm telling you, between this poverty, between this violence, between this school system, we are messing our kids up. That's the reality of it. That's the reality of it. And if we don't stand up, if we don't make something happen, if we don't think out the box, if we don't get creative, then I'm telling you, we're going to lose them. We're going to lose them.
Great. You had a chance to hear from a lot of young people who made some real important points. And again, I want to reiterate the fact that they were reflecting information that we received through organizing initiatives. That's the work that they do. We've got 10 organizers that spread themselves out across the community and hold these dialogue sessions. That's where the information came from on the schools and all those pieces that the young people presented. Before we turn it over to Jordan and Eric, who are going to run the speak out portion, and we hope that there's a lot of young people who have some things to say and are going to be able to step up and share a few more points of view, because that's what tonight's about. There's an individual who's here that I do want to make sure that I recognize tonight, because the information that came out of the recommendations on the youth police relations, that information came out of youth dialogue sessions that our young people organized with police, and we would never have been able to do that without the support of the police department, who opened their doors to us, opened their officers to us, and allowed us to come in and run 3- and 4-hour sessions with officers, with young people face-to-face with officers. And Cedric Alexander, was crucial in those efforts, and Cedric actually also was responsible for opening up those doors of training. When Eric had mentioned that we're going to be doing some training with the police department this year, that's a really important piece. So for those doors to be opened up to the community, for young people to step in and take leadership roles, that's an important opportunity, and that's not happening everywhere in this country. So I do want to recognize Cedric Alexander and just give him an opportunity to... If Dr. Alexander wants to say a few words, I'm going to give him the opportunity to say a few words.
If I could just take a moment to just to holler at y'all for a second, if you don't mind. You know, one thing that's critically important in this community, out of all the things you're hearing tonight, particularly the things you're hearing from other young people like yourself, for me, and every adult that you see in this room, every adult that's out there in this viewing audience, from across this community, regardless of where it may happen to be, I think it's important that you young people in here understand something, is that everybody in this community cares about what happens to you. They cared about you yesterday, they care about you today. We understand what your challenges are as young people. We haven't always been older adults or older children. We have been where you are as well too. We've had some of the same struggles that you have. All of us, regardless of what our background may be or where we come from. But one thing I want to encourage you young folks in here to do is to stay positive about everything that's going on around you. Because the opportunities that you don't think that are there, they truly are there. And I'm reminded so often, and certainly more recently, one of my greatest American heroes, will always be one of my greatest American heroes, was Miss Rosa Parks, who sat down one day so that all of us would have an opportunity to stand up for something. And her sitting down also gave an opportunity for all of us to sit down and take our rightful place in America. This country belongs to all of us. And every opportunity that you feel that you have or don't have, you truly have to avail yourself to it. And it's always easy to go in another direction and justify to yourself that I'm not going to become the person I really want to be because the world is against me. The world, in and of itself, is going to be challenging to all of us. It's challenging to each and every one of us, but I want you to stay hopeful. I want you to look for people inside your community or outside your community that is going to give you an opportunity to see who it that you really want to be, because you really have to visualize in your own mind who it is that you want to be. You got to visualize that for yourself. You got to believe that I can be, if I want to be a pediatric physician, I can be a pediatric physician. If I want to be a psychologist, I can be a psychologist. If I want to be a first woman police chief for the Rochester Police Department, I can be that as well too. The world is yours as long as you believe in yourself. And I know it's hard to do. I know it's very hard to do when you look around your community and your environment and you look for the positive things that sometimes you don't see. But if you keep looking, and if you look hard, you're going to find the positive images that you're looking for. They're there. It's just deciding whether you want to see them or not. Because all of you in here, all of us in here, young and old, we know right from wrong. So exercise what you know is right. That's all we have to do. And seek out people who are going to support you. Every adult, every person you see in this room cares about you and loves you. But what's missing in the formula is you beginning to love yourself. And we need you to do that. So I'm not going to be long, but I just want to be very clear to each and every one of you, and particularly you young people that are in here. This police department, this city, Mayor Bill Johnson, who I've had numerous conversations with around the concern of young people in our community, and with a host of other people throughout this community as well, too. We are here for you, but we also need for you to remain confident, remain hopeful, and look around for those positive images because they do exist in your communities. You are bright, you are smart, and listening to you here tonight and those that are up here representing you, you are the leaders in the future of this city, of this state, and of this country. And your preparation begins now. So stay focused. Listen to the things that you're hearing tonight. Believe in yourself and believe in what people are saying, because people are just not here to be here. They're here because they have an interest in you. This is priceless tonight. You can't pay for this. Nowhere. So I'm going to end here, but I want you to know, for me personally, as your chief of police, and as someone who has been in this community for the last 8 or 9 years, that you are important to me. You're important to this police department. You're important to every person in this community, whether they live in this city or out of this city, because we all are connected to each other and we all are important to each other. So my hopes and prayers is that you stay positive and that you continue to do the things that you're doing, and staying part of Teen Challenge is very significant in you doing that as well, being a part of this program. Because the people who made this program very possible for you, they're here not because they don't have anything else to do. They're here because of their passion that they have about you and your future and how much concern they have for you. So I'm going to end here, and I wish you the best, and I pray for you, and I love all of you. You feel me? Yeah.
All right, been up here all night talking, telling you guys what we think, how we feel, what we think needs to be done. Now it's time for your turn. I'm gonna ask predominantly youth to come up in the beginning, and then we'll open it up to adults. We wanna know how you feel. Just tell us about your experiences, what you think is going on. You know, maybe how you feel about police, youth relations, how you feel about the education system, anything that you wanna talk about. This is your time. This is your time to be heard. We're talking about giving people opportunity. It's all you. We'll open up in 1 second. All right.
All right, we want to keep all comments, please keep all comments under 2 minutes. And no adults.
No.
All right, now I want everybody to be respectful for other people's comments, and if you'd like to speak, you can come up to the front and form a line. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I don't want to see nobody sitting down.
Yeah. I just want to take time to say it's really over right now, because I got a lot of things on my mind that I know need to be shared, need to be heard, and they're not going to be heard sitting behind a PlayStation 2 playing video games. So I'm standing up right now, and I'm going to express how I feel. Keeping it short, though, because if I wanted to go, it'd be a Sunday service. So I'm going to start with a Japanese proverb, and it says, experience fears the strength of youth. And that's so strong, because me, as a person who I am, I got too much potential to be sitting behind a Burger King counter flipping burgers. That's not me. I'm not gonna be sitting behind a Burger King counter flipping burgers while my people out there dying and I'm not doing nothing about it. How can I help you? Those words only go so far when you're sitting behind the counter flipping burgers. Next one. I'm gonna go straight like this. Why are we treated like little kids but trialed as adults? I just want to know that one right there. Anybody, can help me out, just let me know. And I just want to know why I'm pulled over because I'm wearing a do-rag in the color of my skin. No, I'm not wearing a do-rag because I think I'm a thug. No, I'm not wearing a white tee because I think I'm a thug. I'm wearing a do-rag and a white tee because they not trying to give us jobs, and I gotta wear what's on sale. Simple as that. I'm gonna keep it like that. I gotta wear what's on sale. Yeah, my pants may sag sometimes, and they may look kind of baggy. That's because I've been frisked, harassed, and they broke my belt for things I ain't do, for the color of my skin. But it's not all about that. I'm gonna keep moving on. Let me flip my page, because truthfully, how I see it, if nobody's gonna listen to me and they're gonna try to tune me out, I'm gonna speak louder until you hear me. I'm gonna keep moving though. Okay. I just for everybody who thinks, all right, I'm gonna real quick. Just for everybody who thinks that minorities aren't capable of being intellectual, I'm gonna make it a little intellectual for you. All right, a little, I believe that my intellectual mind progressed far behind hanging out in a corner and selling drugs is capable of bonding with cultures and races of different societies and levels. I can easily express my thoughts through a hypothesis of what can be elevated to the minority of the majority, and on the fields I step on may irritate some of the higher social classes who sit in a lazy boy and watch the RNews of my youth dying. But no, I'm here to stand up right now and say I'm not gonna take that, and things are gonna change. And all my people behind me standing up and saying that we're gonna make a difference, and we're not gonna let it go down like that, and we're gonna show that we're worth more than violence and drugs, and nobody's gonna be lost in the fight.
All right, guys, we're gonna have to limit this to 1 minute per comment. I'm sorry, but time's starting to crunch. So.
How y'all doing out there? A lot more people than I thought. My name's Javier, and I just want to make a quick statement. I lived in Rochester for my whole life, and through the years, I just seen the streets getting worse and worse. School was getting worse, jobs, everything. And I just want all the adults to know that the youth, all of us, are willing to make a change. We willing to change ourselves, but we can't do it by ourselves. We need y'all to help us too. And we determined, we dedicated. We just need a push, and we need to be patted on the back sometimes for the things that we do. Not always look for the bad things that we do. I just want to say thank everybody for giving us this opportunity. I'm really grateful. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. How y'all doing today? My name is Tremaine. I wrote something because it's hard for me to express my feelings, so I just gotta listen to what I gotta say. I believe there should be more community activities for the youth so that all of the kids who are wandering around, getting into trouble, doing things they shouldn't be doing, will have something positive to do with their time, something that they'll benefit from instead of doing negative things that'll cause them to become incarcerated, something that they can't benefit from. So we just want more free stuff to go on in the community that we could benefit from.
How are y'all doing? My name Anthony, and I just want to say this go out to the young men out there. I ain't never had no father in my life or nothing like that, so I give big up to Xavier for trying hard for his daughter or whatever. So man, it's hard for me to succeed in life. I ain't never had no father tell me what to do, so I'm saying I got caught up with the police or whatever. I went to the villa or whatever. So it just make me a lot stronger or whatever. I hope y'all, all the other kids that don't have no parents or whatever, that should strive you to make you go harder and stronger to whatever you want to do or whatever. So I'm saying just take that and use it to your advantage, and that's all I want to say.
I'm so nervous right now. Well, my name is Angel Rogers, and I wrote something. I'm going to try to read it in this minute. So, I feel that some of the youth should be able to talk to their peers, friends, and even the youth that's in your family to get their opinions on what's going on and certain decisions that we have to make and what we see on a day-to-day basis. And bring that information to the big table where the adults are talking so we can have our input. The adults get to discuss and decide and make a decision that will have a greater impact on us and influence us. I believe that we as a youth should be able to come together in a presentable manner and speak out and stand up for what we feel is necessary and in need in our lives. We should at least be able to compromise because we are the ones who will set examples and need to be role models for the next generation.
Hi, everybody doing tonight? My name is Shaimise, and all I want to say is I'm glad to be here tonight for all the adults to listen to what us youth had to say about, like, violence and stuff today. And, like, I'm glad for all the community services and the after-school activities and stuff for us to, like, keep our minds on stuff and don't be doing violence out today. And, like, I'm grateful for my parents to, like, be patting me on the back and telling me, like, do good and stuff in school, because I wouldn't be up here right now saying what I had to say. And I'm just grateful for everybody here tonight listening to what we had to say. Thank you. Bye.
Hi, everybody. I'm nervous. My name's Shaquisha. It's just a big inspiration to see all y'all. I'm sorry. I said it's a big inspiration to see all y'all adults out here tonight supporting us. Thank y'all.
Hi, my name's Lawanda, and I just came up here to say that I am very grateful to be up here speaking to everybody and be able to say everything I want to say, even though we have 2 minutes. I won't be able to say everything I want to say because there's a lot to say, but I just like the fact that we have people in our community thinking about youth and thinking about us and letting us get a chance to speak out and say what we have to say on problems that everybody will know about, but we know about mostly because we are affected more than the adults because it's basically judging us right now. Now I'd like to say thank Robert and Doug for letting us do this. Bye.
Good afternoon. How y'all doing this evening? I'd like to talk about the situation that's really going on in Rochester right now. I'm not really from Rochester, but my time that I did here in Rochester, it's been getting worse for me. Basically, I see that why do they got more jails than schools? They should be having more school books bought, more chairs, more equipment basically for schools. And basically, got another situation to talk about the police relations and basically police, they basically have to know how to talk to the kids. Basically, they got to show them some love because children, you know, they need some love. But at the same time, go hard on them, lead them in the right direction instead of, you know what I'm saying, just slamming them down, face flat on the ground, automatically pointing them out as thugs or gangsters or whatever. But I just want to thank everybody who came out here just to listen to the youth talk, and that you just get open ears or whatever. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Star Cooper. I wanted to come out here tonight to tell people about my story. I am a high school dropout. I am a teen mother. I have been a delinquent. I've messed up in school a lot. Rochester has a lot of great resources already in place to help us as youth. They have a lot of great resources to help us if you need a car, if you need to get out of a bad relationship, if you want to be a pediatrician, if you want to be a veterinarian. I am a local business owner today. I feel if we have determination as a youth, we can succeed. We have to take the stand to make our own lives better. If we don't have the resources, we will get the resources. My daughter is 3 now, and one day she'll be 20. I'll be 30 soon. I'll be 50. I want to be the next mayor. I want to be the next doctor. I want to have my own company where I am CEO and I have thousands of employees. This year, I will hire 7 of my peers to help me make my business a greater business. This is not impossible. If I can do it, you can do it. If I can go every Saturday to the public market and sell my products or go door to door, you can do it. All you have to do is believe in yourself.
Hi, my name is Kanisha Smith, and the point I would like to get across is inner city youth programs. Inner city youth programs is keeping some kids out the street, yes. But for every 20 and 30 kids in programs, there are like 50 and 60 kids that's hanging in the streets. And it's not because it's their fault they're in the streets. It's because the majority of the youth programs today only accept certain ages and certain people. They have no choice but to look out to the street for their activities. So my question is, could y'all help fix the problem?
All right, Kanisha.
Hi everybody, my name is LaShawna Milton, and I feel that we as youth face many problems. We don't have enough resources to help with the problems. You say that you want us to stay out of the street, but yet you have no activities to keep us off the street. You say you want us to succeed in life, but we don't have the materials we need to do these. These are some of the problems that I believe we face as youth.
Hi, my name is Shawanda, and I haven't written anything, but I lived in Rochester all my life. I live off of Jefferson. Could y'all imagine that? Wow. So y'all can imagine what I see every day going to school. But it's like y'all have to listen to us. Without us, there's no y'all no more. If we're gone, there's no more world. The world will stop turning. So what would y'all do? Can y'all help us keep going? We need help from everyone. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jamisa. How y'all doing tonight? It's a shame how people are dying out here. And I want to give a shout out to my mom and my brother. We should have more materials in school so we won't lose our stuff, and we should have stuff to put our school materials in.
How y'all doing? My name is Carlos. Let's first give it up for Team Empowerment, Doug and Rob, for giving us a chance to come up and talk in front of y'all. There's one thing I want to address is the stereotype. When you sign the application, they see how you dress. It's not really the way how you dress, it's the way you present yourself when you work. They ain't gonna give us a chance to tell you that once they look at the application, they see you live off of Coffee Ave, they put it off on the side and say, find somebody in Brighton or something. I don't know why it gotta be like that. Why it can't be? Why it just can't be? Why Why you just can't come to work? Give us a chance. We never had a chance. I've been living in Rochester for 16 years, my whole life. Once I turned 14, I got my work permit. It's been 2 years. I still don't got no job. And I've tried my whole life so far. And Doug and Rob, the first one, give me a chance. Be yourself. So.
Hi, how y'all doing? All right, my name is Roland, and I believe we young adults are wasting our lives. We all have special abilities and talents that aren't expressed enough. Some of us in here can draw, write, dance, sing, and are good at other things as well. I believe we as a team and teens if we had somewhere to meet to express our talents, there would be a lot less of our young teens standing on the corners. I feel that our talents aren't being put out there for us to be noticed. Rochester has a lot of talents. We teens are creative and energetic. If we don't come together, then changes won't be made. We are a family in many different ways. We need to stand up and make a difference. We now have the chance to change things. My English teacher once told me that our decisions determine our future. Let us make a difference. Let us hold our head up high.
Good evening, Rochester. My name is Rashad, and I will be presenting issues about the youth and how we need to make good decisions. If something need to be accomplished, the police cannot stop it. And it's sad to say that some parents can't stop it either. But it's up to the youth to do it themselves and achieve their goal as a young adult. Youth need to stand up for their own right. Excuse me, because I'm going slow, because I just wrote this up the time I had. Most of the children getting killed these days are by children that hold a gun. How they got the gun, nobody knows. What they do with it, watch the news and find out for yourself. Like I said, it takes the youth to get the job done. Could we do this without being harassed? I could walk to the corner store and stop to talk to my uncle, and the police just suspect that we're doing something wrong. Doing something wrong, I know just as well as you know that my neighborhood is not as good as you want it to be, or the police, or Duffy, but that's just the way it got to be.
Hello, everyone. My name is Camden Baker, and I want to ask you a question. What is one thing that no one can avoid? Life. You can't possibly avoid life. There's no way around it. Some teams don't know that. They think crime is an incentive or something good. No. Crime is based on 3 things: money, power, respect. Youth don't know anything. Youth don't have anything to do with their time. So they think, oh, homeboy on the side want to go chill on the block, so they do it too. So they get in gangs. Think they can avoid life? No one can. When they get locked up for something that they did, they feel like, I don't care and whatever and such. But deep down, they know they feel, what did I do and why I'm locked up for it? You know what you did. You hung out with the wrong people. Teen Empowerment is a good program because we are not on the streets right now. We are here, standing up for what we think is right. We need to be heard. If we stand, others will follow. If youth rises, we will all be heard. And if that happens, youth will combine into one. One voice, one power, and one union. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Chriselle, and I attend a city school. We have overcrowded classrooms. We have books that have been torn, pages ripped out. We have a lot of violence in schools. We have gang members in schools. Would y'all please help us to get those gang members out, try to get them in help and get them in programs so they can stop trying to be thugs.
Hi, my name is Brittany, and I'm really nervous right now, but I want to say that I see all y'all, and all y'all are beautiful people. You are gorgeous, and I know you have beautiful minds, and we need to use them. The schools at Rochester, I've been to Henrietta and I've been to Rochester, and out there we have books that we need. We have the necessities, the programs, the people that we could reach out to, that we could talk to. In here, we're trapped. There's no 40 kids in one classroom. or not the availability of a class because it's too full, is crazy. And that's all I'm gonna say. Thank you.
Hi everybody, how y'all doing? My name is Lauren Brown, and I would just like to say, as a teen, what I would really like to know is, where do I fit in this society? Where can I run to when I need help? Nowhere. A lot of the times, I feel like the authorities pass judgment on us just because we're teens, and they feel that we can't make our own decisions, but that's not true. We can. We feel the same way y'all feel. We breathe the same way y'all breathe. So what's the difference? Is my voice less important just because of my age? No, it's not. So I hope y'all remember my face because 10 years from now, I'll be sitting up here.
Hi everybody. My name is LaQuanda Harrington. Now I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. The last time they had a meeting with the parents to speak, my mom, she was interviewed by one of the news ladies or whatever, and she was talking about me. And then I seen it on the news. It wasn't, I mean, like, she was just saying that I was a child that was, you know, a runaway and just stuff that, I was doing stuff that I wasn't supposed to be doing. So therefore, when I seen it on the news, you know, I couldn't do nothing but cry because I was embarrassed. Because everybody, parents was watching it, you know, so I was embarrassed. But then I sat back and thought, when I was in my room, I sat back and thought, like, she right. I'm doing this for nothing. I was yes, I was involved with a gang, well, so-called gang, you know, and then I just got myself out of it because there's nothing there for me. It's not gonna do nothing better for me. So then after I decided to get myself out, just do better things for myself, I made a quote for myself. Don't judge me because of my past. Just judge me because of what I'm gonna do in my present and what's gonna happen for me in the future. And now I've been getting kicked out of schools or whatever, and I know I'm 16, a young girl, should still be in high school, but now I'm about to go on tour for Job Corps tomorrow, and I'm gonna do my thing, and yeah, remember my face, because I'm gonna be a business teacher, okay?
Hello and greetings to my fellow city youth. Lately, we have not been looked at in a good light. Well, what do I mean? We're never really looked at in a good light, am I right? Thank you. Lately, there's been a string of killings in the city among youth. These youth that died so young were a part of this community. They were our best friends, our kids, our grandkids, and in some cases, a girlfriend or boyfriend of someone. However, they all have something in common. They're dead. Ripped from this community at such a young age over something so senseless. But we can change that, youth. How about next time there's a conflict we have with another youth, we resolve it in a way where both youth can walk away. Not just one youth walk or run away while the other lays on the ground dead with a gunshot wound or a knife wound. Youth, let's also realize that we have been set up for failure. Look at the class sizes you're put in at school. Look at the limited textbooks you have. Look at the limited textbooks you have. Look at where you live. We need somebody to clean the toilets, somebody to flip the burgers, someone to wait on us hands and knees. Why not the city youth? Now, I'm not saying that's the way that every Caucasian person thinks, because we have Caucasian people here tonight who do care about the city youth, such as the ones here. And I think they also need a round of a hand also. I'm not saying it's not a job you can't have while you're in high school, but not something you have to do for the rest of your life because your education is limited. Just like you keep your sneakers crisp and your hair crisp and all iced out with jewelry, make sure that your grades are also crisp and iced out so that you can succeed. Thank you.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing? My goal in life is to become a Rochester City police officer. My goal is to
go to the military for college, and then come out of the military with experience and become a Rochester City police officer to help our youth and to help the community. If I was a police officer right now, I would not want to go around just because you got a do-rag on or whatever. Doesn't mean nothing. It's just style that they like and they prefer to wear. I was at this one job. Okay, I'm just gonna put it this, see the reality. My manager, the guy that hired me was African American. He moved to another company. A Caucasian lady came in. She told all of us in the cashier aisle to watch this one African American family, just because they're wearing a do-rag or whatever, because they think of suspicion of stealing something. But on the other hand, you have a Caucasian family over here, which is, I'm not saying nothing against any race, because there's black people that steal, white people, I don't care if you're blue, purple, or green, all right? Most likely, every time I go into a store, because of what my manager said to me, which I ended up quitting, I'm not gonna say any store names or nothing like that, you know what I mean? He told me to watch the person with the do-rag or whatever. And I said, no, why should I watch them? I'm watching everybody. I'm not racist. I don't care if they're purple, blue, or green, like I said. They were telling us to watch the people because they think that they're gonna steal something. But on the other hand, you can see the other person in this section here just stealing something right now. As I reported, if my guess was right, that the family there, the African American family, did not steal nothing, but the Caucasian family did. And I told my manager that. I said, why are you focusing on one person, one race? You should be looking at every race, and it doesn't matter if you're purple, green, blue. Right. Most of my peers, they say, well, they do stupid, petty stuff, arguing over stuff. I've seen fights over a hairdo. And somebody get a gun pulled on. Like, I have no fear. The only person in the world that I fear, or in the universe, whatever, is God. I fear no man but God. And I'm gonna end this with a good note. Like, you can do whatever you gotta do if you put your mind to it. Don't let people break you, make yourself.
Hello, my name is Anthony, and I'm here to talk about police discrimination. Just because I wear the color red, because I see everybody know what that means in the street, blood. Just because I stand on the corner to do this, that, and the third, that don't mean that give the police the right to stop me, search me, and frisk me, just because what I wear. And yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I did some things I'm not proud of. I sold things that I wasn't supposed to do. So, and I'm nervous. I can't even think straight. But, oh, come on. Like I said, just because I wear this color don't mean that I do certain. Just because I wear this color don't mean I do this and I do that. Thank you.
Hi everybody, my name is Brianna Camardi, and what I came up here for is to talk about our materials in school. I go to Benjamin Franklin, and our materials in school, we don't have like a lot of books. Social study books we have barely any. Math books, we have none. I go to a class called Intro to Media. It's a computer class, and our class is overcrowded. So one thing I would like to say is, can y'all please help us to get more books and materials for our schools? Thank you.
Hi everybody, I'm Derek, and I can tell you I see right now, there's a whole bunch of intelligent kids out right now. They're saying all these things. I know y'all hearing it. And believe it or not, it's a whole bunch more out there. And I feel adults need to show more effort and care towards the schools. Mr. McFadden told me on Friday that Rochester's not broke. I know that's what everybody's saying, but they're not broke. They just choose to spend money on certain things. And I feel what's more important than spending on the schools this is right now. I mean, if you're going to spend it, there's no better time than right now. And so I want to say that I know the adults are making an effort to help everybody out here. You can see it, but they're doing it the wrong way. And I feel that the adults need just as much help as we do. So what I'm saying is, let us help you and put an effort, get us involved in this. Thank you.
How y'all doing out there today? My name is Fashiba, and this is for all you parents out here. Raise your hand if you listen to your kids and hear what they have to say. Now, this is for all y'all who have your hands down. If you don't listen to your kids, you're going to wind up seeing them dead and their gang on the streets. If you don't want your kids out there on the streets, open your ears and listen like you listen to us tonight. If you don't hear them, then who else will? Thank you.
What's going on? My name is Brandon. Actually, I've worked with Teen Empowerment a couple of times. That's been a real help for getting my voice out. The thing is, I'm still speechless. It's crazy. It's just that I'm not used to having my voice heard in the least. So how am I gonna feel right to speak? You know what I'm saying? So, but like, for me to get up here, it took a senior quote that I learned from Marcus Garvey, and that was, once you liberate the minds of men, you will ultimately liberate the bodies of men. That's just saying that in order for you to move and actually do something, you have to just liberate your minds and speak. But overall, I gotta say that I've had a good life in Rochester, relatively. And it's kind of sad because I grew up in the South Wedge, which is supposed to be like, you know, one of the nicer neighborhoods in the city. But yeah, a kid, Devin Stott, got stabbed, 15 years old, you know, 3 houses down from my street. Robberies happen all the time. Now, I got to be scared because I'm one of the few black men in the neighborhood, and I'm always getting eyed. You know what I'm saying? I go to Wilson, I went to Wilson, one of the best high schools in the nation. But yet we still don't got books. We still don't got computers. This supposed to be good? How is this good? This situation was going on in Henrietta or Greece Olympia, they would flip. You know what I'm saying? It just, yo, we got to speak. We gotta speak, teens, man. We just gotta speak. You know, I know it's hard. All of us writing down stuff. We gotta speak. We gotta ask, why do we have no books, but we got money for an A-team soccer league to have a stadium? Why do we have money for a fast ferry? We ain't got no books. And if it's different funding, why is there more funding for that than for our schools and our children? You know what I'm saying? We got to ask these questions. Even though we might not necessarily be heard, we still got to ask these questions. And, you know, it's not over for me. Even though I'm done with high school, I'm done, you know, being a kid in Rochester. It's not over for me because I'm still a teen. Us older teens, 17, 18, 19 years old, we ain't really being a good example, man. We're not. We see each other in the street. We grill each other. We mean mug each other because we don't know each other. That makes no sense. I have more in common than you and anybody else in the city. You know, I'm the same skin color as you. I get followed around the store like you. You know what I'm saying? I live in the same city, same neighborhood, same everything. We have so much in common. We don't even know it. And at that, we ain't even setting a good example for the younger teens. If we ain't setting a good example for the younger teens, then the cycle's just going to continue. You know what I'm saying? Yes, that's all I got to say, man.
How y'all doing? My name is Clifford Florence Jr. And I was at work and I heard this on the radio, so I had zoomed down here real quick. And I just wanted to bring up. I just wanted to bring up 3 things I often sit home with my dad and talk about, and that's the ferries, the schools, and the police. How can we have a boat that's sitting up in a place that none of us are gonna be able to ride, and we got schools that don't have nurses, books, programs, things like that, you know what I mean? When I was in high school or middle school, elementary school, when my parents found out that we didn't have books, pencils, they physically went down to the school to find out what the problem is, and It's one thing that I learned through life is we have to be not passive people, but we have to be positively aggressive and assertive to get things done. It's more than just tonight, just coming through here with the cameras, the food, and the people, you know, I'm clapping, and that's a good thing, but what are we gonna do after we leave here tonight? You know what I'm saying? Is what goes on here tonight just gonna be something that we went home and they're gonna say, honey, how was the meeting, children, how did you enjoy yourselves? And then tomorrow, it just dies away like the people that's passed. As, I mean, I see the flyers for the ads and the people that we voted for and that's in office, but are they truly gonna have their own motives? Are they gonna listen to us as people? You know what I mean? It's a slogan that says one apple does spoil the bunch. And it's not fair for all the people to point the finger at the police, just like it's not fair for the police to point the finger at the people. We all have people that have spoiled the bunch and given each other a black eye. So last year I took the police test. I failed it by 10 points, but I signed up to take it again this year on December 3rd. And that's just a way to show the people that I grew up with that, you know what I'm saying, there is an alternative route to be positive and make a difference in the communities that we live in. You know what I mean? I live in the city off of Thurston, you know what I mean, in the 19th Ward, and I'm proud of my neighborhood, and I wouldn't trade it for the world because I'm happy when I go home at night. And I feel like if I become an officer, I can better relate to the people in my community, you know what I mean? Because most of the people, officers that are in our communities don't live there. They don't know the circumstances there, you know what I mean? They just 9 times out of 10 trying to get a paycheck, go home and feed their families, you know what I mean? But, I mean, they say I had 2 minutes, but I wish they'd have just gave me unlimited things to say because I really want to talk, you know what I'm saying? So y'all might be mad at me, so I might go longer. But, I mean, it's just like, you know what I mean? Most of the parents and the people in the city, you know what I mean, they make things look easy when, you know what I'm saying, it's not easy, you know what I mean? Children, you don't want to believe it, but some children, and I'm not saying it's good, but some children sell drugs to pay the bills, you know what I mean? Some children do wrong to make right, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that's right to do, not at all. Don't get me mixed up with that, you know what I mean? But life is a cards, you know what I mean? Life is cards. You play the hand that you're dealt, you know what I mean? Most rappers made their labels off of selling drugs and stuff like that. That's not right, but that now they have a better life and giving back to the community, you know what I mean? Don't look at us youth as black people or kids that's, you know what I mean, not on the rise, because it's a lot of my friends and family that couldn't be here, but I said, yo, I'm going to speak for all of us, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean, we just got to do better. And back on the thing that I said in the beginning, we can't let this night die and just say, you know what I mean, we had a good time, blah, 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 and then tomorrow we'd be like, we look in the newspaper, say they had fun, and then Friday we'd be like, all right, you know what I mean, it's back to normal. So we just got to be, you know what I mean, aggressive at what we want, you know what I mean, we got to make that change. And it would be good to do like they do in Webster, Henrietta, and all those other areas, you know what I mean, have this annually, you know what I mean, how they have their town meetings, you know what I mean, we should be able to have this annually and have, you know what I mean, a checkup on how we doing, you know what I mean? Let's not be like sloppy black people, you know what I mean, or sloppy white people, you know what I mean? It's white people that live in my neighborhood. It's all types of people, so we have to be aggressive and assertive of what we want. I'm back to work.
You've been watching live coverage of Youth Speak Out at Rochester City Council Chambers, where young people had an open mic tonight. Adults, for the most part, just their listening ears on to address the problem of violence in our city. Hosted by Teen Empowerment and City Councilman Adam McFadden, young people did the talking about what their perception of the situation in our community is and what solutions they foresee. We will hear more of their ideas from Youth Speak Out coming up throughout the night here on RNews, and you can catch the entire program on demand. That's channel 111 in the coming days.
Great. Here's some good news for you. Due to recent